in a hall of stone. Something bright like a diamond shone. Mist and magic filled the air. From wedding feast to devil's lair. Suddenly the walls ran red. Kith and kin all lying dead. None to follow, none to chase.
Welcome to the Renegade Roundtable. This is one of your hosts here tonight at the Renegade Studios at renegadebroadcasting.com. It is July 22nd, 2017, and here with me tonight is Sinead. I don't know when the last time that you stayed up for a roundtable was, besides the one we did with our friends. Probably like 2013 or something like that.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. So it is my pleasure to have Sinead here with me, and we will take your calls tonight as well, 747-999-6407. You know, there's been a lot happening this week. A whole lot of nothing burgers, Sinead. A lot of nothing burgers all around.
That's such a hip phrase. You're so with the times. You're so plugged into pop culture.
That's pretty edgy.
You're pretty hip and cool. Where'd you hear that? CNN. So retarded.
So, where should we start here tonight? There's a lot to discuss that did happen within the mainstream, I guess. A lot within the alt media, within the alt-right, one of our favorite topics, of course.
Oh, yes. My fave.
Yeah,
my fave.
Very cringy. Sinead likes the cringe.
I love cringe.
She likes the cringe more than myself, so she pays a lot of attention to the alt-right.
It's fascinating to me. The alt-right is fascinating. Like, I know I probably seem obsessed with it, but it's just fascinating. It's basically just, I'm seeing the destruction of the youth, and I guess it might seem sick that I laugh at it, but I think I'm just so overwhelmed with grief that I just have to laugh at the absurdity. It's the only way I can cope, honestly.
Yeah, you know, it's such a mix of different things within the alt-right. We know that there are the actors, the agents, the controlled opposition, but those people have been able to attract an assortment of just such odd individuals.
Yes. Yes. And you know what's interesting? I think most of these people, it's horseshoe theory. So most of these people that are now identifying as alt-right were, you know, maybe a month or two ago, 2 years tops, you know, like the most out there liberals, quote unquote liberals. So they were the, you know, the people that they're railing against now, which I think is interesting. I mean, they seemed to go to the extreme of what they deem liberalism, which is really just degeneracy. So a lot of these people are railing against something that they were a couple months ago and still are sometimes.
Well, the alt-right is the new left.
Right. They are the same as the Bolsheviks. And
analogous.
Yes,
analogous.
They are analogous. That's why I hate saying that word. I really refrain from using that word because it's like, ew.
I'm analogous.
Well, that was what Richard Spencer said. They are analogous to the Bolsheviks. And no one really seemed to get too worked up about that statement. Everyone just kind of said, yeah, very good, very good.
I'm looking at an image, a poster for Unite the Right, where Richard Spencer stands as this kind of illuminating god.
It reminds me a lot of Elvis Presley.
Huh.
If you look at it, remember Sun Records? And that sun is like when you have the communist star, the obey, with like the sun rays. Obviously, the sun
it's a
is
similar kind of style.
You know, the sun isn't like necessarily evil, but it looks to me like he's the king of. You know, we had Elvis, the king of rock. Now we have Dickie Spencer, the king of the alt-right. Watch out.
Yeah, so this Unite the Right apparently is all about Dickie and just how awesome he is with his sunglasses and a white suit. August 12th in Charlottesville, Virginia. I might actually go up there because
we need to.
Somebody needs to confront them,
Yeah.
call them out. Just listen to this crew of characters that we have here. Maybe one of them is not a Jew. Maybe.
Very doubtful.
Dickie Spencer. Sinead has covered. What's the website? Spencergate.wordpress.com.
Yes, check it out.
Yeah, you can take a look. It does look like he has at least some Jewish ancestry there. Mike Enoch. Listen, he showed his DNA results.
Oh, really?
And it says he's not Jewish. It was just his Jew wife, and he's divorced her, so he's cool.
Because Jewish women always marry Gentiles. I mean, like, that always happens. Especially diversity officer Jewish women,
Who like...
Trannies.
Yeah.
And I mean, him with the Shabbat candles and the, you know... That was just circumstance. I mean, that's not real evidence.
When he said he basically went around other Jews, he talks like that.
Yeah.
Other Jews.
And made other references to being Jewish
he's
as well.
admitted himself, pretty much. But no, he showed his results, so he's not Jewish.
I believe that.
So Dickie Spencer, Mike Enoch, Jason Kessler. I don't even know who this is, but Kessler, I did know a Jewess with the last name Kessler.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's a Jewish name.
It seems like it. Baked Alaska. You know, this has got to be the Aryan. This has got to be the Aryan.
He's got blue eyes. Blonde. He's got a blonde mullet.
He has a blonde. I think he might have cut that down.
Oh.
But, I mean, this guy, true Aryan, he's got that classical Roman straight knows he doesn't. Knows he doesn't. But no, he's totally pro-white. He doesn't even throw up the asshole sign anymore.
He doesn't?
No. He was doing like when he was pictured with Dickie, he was doing the one finger in the
caliphate?
air. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Where
that's
the new
like
ISIS.
one true God, Allah.
White Sharia. Yeah.
White Sharia. That's really fashy. Almost as fashy as the commie fist that they're all throwing up.
Yeah, that's a new one. Dickie loves that one. Yeah, well, I love that Heimbach photo where he's with like Aryan Nations or whoever it is.
Everybody else is giving.
Everybody's Sig Heil and Matt Heimbach. So they're giving the commie fist. And,
wait, that's weird. Why are you doing that, Matt? What you doing, Rabbi Heimbach? What's going on there?
But he looks so like such an Aryan hero.
Oh yeah, he looks really like
Well, he's got a lot
Nordic.
of testosterone from the meat he eats. I mean, he's on this really good diet. Living
Clearly,
well.
he's an alpha male.
He's not one of those dirty hippies like us.
No, I mean, he doesn't have long hair, and he's not a stupid vegan.
Augustus Invictus likes to sacrifice goats. He is a Crowleyite. Thelamite. I know.
Yeah,
people need to understand.
Yes. It's the same thing.
He likes Crowley. And take a look at his arm. You see that picture of his arm? And he's got a Jew star.
Big old Jew star. Not even trying to hide it. Not even a little tiny one. Like, bam!
It's
love the Jews.
It's low on his arm.
Oh, yeah.
On his forearm.
Yeah,
it's not like it's up. It could be hidden by a shirt.
Right, by a shirt. Now that's like, check it out. I love the tribe.
Christopher Cantwell. This guy, pretty fashy.
Pretty fat.
he's gotten skinnier.
Oh,
Probably his stomach's stable.
Yeah, he got like gastric bypass. He still is all on the vape pen, like drinking his Red Bull. Like he's all on the stimulants. Like he's probably snorting lines of cocaine in between, his little breaks.
In between hitting his girlfriend
and getting away with it.
How to beat your girlfriend? Get
that was the article that he wrote.
How to hit it?
How to hit your girlfriend and get away with it. Christopher Cantwell.
That's pretty fashion.
Pretty fat, pretty trad life.
Trad life.
Trad life.
Speaking of trad, we got the trad man himself, the head of the trad workers, Matt Heimbach.
Woo woo! Keep it trad, everybody. Keep it patriarchal.
Do we need to even say more? This is the guy that invited Alexander Dugin to give this inaugural speech in the United States, but because Dugin's not allowed in, he gave the speech virtually. Fourth position, totally trad.
It's totally trad. I mean, Chrislam is the future. Like, this is where we need to go, guys. Chrislam.
What about when Jaime Bach was putting out that meme? It was maybe nuns dressed up all in long clothes. Basically in a Muslim outfit. Yeah, basically what it was Christian, really Orthodox Christian. Nuns. Christian women alongside of Muslim women, and he was
totally covered Islamic.
He was celebrating that as being traditional.
All traditional.
Like, hey, people of the world who are traditional should unite. Yes.
It's like, wait, so he's pretending to be against white genocide while out of the other side of his mouth being like, embrace us all, hating also women.
Describing himself as a Eurasianist. Mm-hmm. Using a chaos star, half
Kyle,
of one.
Listen, Kyle, it's too complicated for you to understand.
You
just don't
But
get
I
it.
listened to the Fourth Position radio show with Wolf Wall Street,
you
I
can't understand it, though.
But
Wolf Wall Street. Yeah, I guess the only person that could understand it is Bob in DC.
Well, he's done a lot of research
else.
on it. He's done so much research on Dugin and Russia that he named his show after Dugin's philosophy of the fourth political theory there.
And didn't Bob say that the people that are, allying with those Eurasianist people, such as David Duke and all these other... Didn't he say they're enemy number one over the Jews? Did he say that?
Well, I don't know if it was over the Jews, but maybe...
No, he said... I definitely remember him saying Jews are enemy number two.
Oh,
the enemy number one is the white traitor. So, really?
Well, I wouldn't mind having that as the order of taking care of business. I wouldn't mind going through the traitors to get to the top enemy. That'd be more for personal...
doing it.
That'd be more for personal satisfaction, perhaps, rather than, actual... being practical.
Right.
Being practical about it, you'd want to go to the people who are funding the controlled opposition.
But think about it, like Dickie Spencer, okay? He's considered white traitor. He's actually very Jewish, and that's the thing we have to understand. Like, our bloodlines have been hijacked, like Dickie Spencer, he's mostly white, but if you go back there in the line, like... He's got a lot of Jewish aristocracy.
Come on. He's done a lot of good for our cause.
Oh, yeah, he's made us look so good trying to deepen white privilege. This thing that doesn't even exist. He's trying to deepen
I'm going to widen and deepen it.
So gay.
I'm going to push in the Overton window.
I'm going to push that Overton window in so hard.
Johnny Monoxide. Who the hell is this?
That sounds like some Twitter person. I don't even know. These stupid retards with their little baked Alaska, Johnny Monoxide. I'm Red Pill Ranger. How old are you?
It sounds like an 80s punk band guy.
Yeah, Johnny. I picture him to have like a mohawk that's dyed like, bleach white or pink or something, and to be all tatted up. I'm Johnny Monoxide. Have a guitar.
Pax Dickinson.
Isn't that his lawyer? Or no, I'm thinking of... I don't know.
Pax apparently he might be Dickie's lawyer? Is that what you're saying?
No, yeah. Well, who is Sam Dickinson?
Okay.
I'm thinking of Sam Dickinson.
Well,
I think that's his
Pax, I think, is the guy who has a Jewish tech guy or something like that. And
wouldn't be
I was
surprised.
seeing some of this drama. I don't know. Dr. Michael Hill, Unite the Right, August 12th. Charlottesville, Virginia.
We need to get Kyle there. I would go too, but there's we've got to have one of us here for the child. So I think you should go.
Can somebody rent me a limo so I can put on
a Hummer limo? Be like, I'm here.
I'm gonna put on a linen suit, and I am going to take a limo all the way up to Virginia. While I'm drinking whiskey the whole way, so I can confront Dickie Spencer. I'm going to outfash the Fashmaster.
It'll be pay-per-view. Kyle Hunt versus Dickie Spencer in the ring. Ding, ding. That would be so good. But seriously, though, we really, I think it would be great for Kyle to go up there and confront them because, you've tried from years ago, trying to get TRS on for a debate, a legit debate, saying, you guys really want to talk about 9/11? Let me really just show how much of liars you are.
Any of the staged events that are very, very obvious. Well, let's think about what these people don't cover. The entire alt-right will not cover anything that goes against the Jewish mainstream version of events.
Right. They didn't even touch the Wailing Wall and Trump going there. They totally ignored it.
Okay.
Totally.
They won't touch the CIA. Pretty much. They won't touch...
They glorify it.
They won't touch MK Ultra. Any of these things that came before that got us to where we are today. Yeah. You're right. They'll glorify it. When we were pointing out that the right-wing death squads and the helicopter rides were actually organized by none other than Henry Kissinger and the CIA, they were like, well, then the CIA is pretty cool in my book. It's a right-wing fasci organization.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get those evil lefties, those libtards.
Now, they'll kind of touch on Jewish issues sometimes. Beat around the bush a little bit.
The Goyim, no. No.
While you're MAGA marching for the Zog Emperor.
Yeah, good job. And holding a sign, the Goyim, no, okay, maybe it's a little bit funny, but you should educate people on what Goyim means and who uses it. Not not some little in-group lingo, it's an inside joke, guys.
And that's not dangerous. It's
not dangerous at all.
That's not going to really, educate anybody or I mean, maybe point them in the right direction a little bit, but who's really going to go home and search? It's just going to confuse
like,
most
that was
people.
That random weird person. But if you have maybe a Jew star and being like, Goyim means cattle, Jews call us cattle.
Well, I think that the Happy Goy billboard and meme has been...
That was perfect.
Has been good. But think about, that's another thing that nobody covered. Yes, because they hate Renegade, and they only found out about it through Renegade. Yeah. But you'd think that this would be noteworthy.
Nobody cares.
Except that, well, people care. It's just that they have a blackout against us.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's what I mean.
Think about these little microaggressions that trigger people to massive kvetching all across the mainstream media. Somebody wrote in chalk on a campus that it was something we didn't like. Yeah. And
did you hear today? There was blah 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 blah. It's all over the world.
Right. But you got a Happy Goy billboard running in Silicon Valley for a whole month.
They didn't touch it, and that's actually a good sign that we're being effective, because they want to blow up these little incidences where today the Antifa and the right-wing death squads confronted in the street and there was bloodshed and this girl got punched and fuel the tensions. But they don't want any kind of media attention being directed at people like us or people that are naming the Jewish organized agenda. It's clearly very obvious at this point. It's the elephant in the room. No one wants to talk about it.
Well, okay, but the alt-right does kind of talk about it. It's the alt-right that doesn't.
Oh,
okay. But
they're so different.
But the thing is, they're all getting hounded by the ADL now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw all those Jews on the hate list. Ooh, the ADL. The ADL named Mike Cernovich as a freaking dangerous guy. Look at his eyes.
They named Jack Poserbitch.
As dangerous, really?
Yeah,
Goebbels guy?
Yeah. You're all Goebbels. You're all Goebbels.
So what they're trying to do is say, like, us Jews we're on your side, guys. Like, look how dangerous we are. The Jews don't even like us. Like,
no, he had the best move. Like the next day, or maybe even just later that day.
Cernovich?
No, Jack Poserbitch. He ended up in Auschwitz, and his tweet was, he had the camera focused on him, and his tweet was something like, remember the last time that people made lists? Remember what happened? And then he turned it to show, like the
Why was
the
he
entrance
in
to
Auschwitz? Like, he just went there on a plane overnight?
Well, I'm guessing Ezra Levant got him on a plane to just fly out there to make that statement, that rebuttal to the ADL. Or, I mean, they knew in advance. Ezra got word.
That's okay, Jewish privilege right now. They're like, you know what? You got to get flown to Auschwitz right now. We got to prove this. Go right now. I don't care how much it costs.
We need to keep Sinead up for more roundtables here, because we have more chatters than we've had in a long time.
It's because I need to realize that most people are up late at night, and like obviously we have a child, we have to get up early. But if I push through that 3 to 4 hour hump after like 7, I can get to where normal people are. Normal young people are still awake at this time, and I forget that because I'm like a grandma these days.
Yes, we have some normal white people, but there are a lot of abnormal white people out there who stay up all night as well.
Yeah, well, it's different when you have a child that gets up really early and you have to be not so grumpy.
I've had some really bad sleep recently.
We all have.
Early, going to bed late.
Yeah.
Pretty much after the shows,
Well, you have to stay up a lot later.
I just shut it down. I don't just turn off the lights oftentimes and shut it down. When I'm doing my own show, though, it's really hard. People might not realize this. After you do a show, you can't just hop in the bed and say, "Well, lights out,"
and I'm asleep. No, you're like your mind is racing, your adrenaline is going because you put like you channel something during your shows. I mean, like there's a lot of energy that's going through you. So it takes me a good hour or 2 hours after a show to decompress and just kind of like finally be able to relax. So it's not just a quick little gig.
Yeah, no, it's athletic. I get all sweaty.
Yeah.
Just kind of joking. I get hot.
Well, yeah. Well, we're in Florida.
It's not that I'm out of shape. It's just I really do get fired up sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's good.
I'm like a big furnace.
You're good at slow burning. That's what we were talking about earlier. Like when I'm up in the morning, I'm like a shooting star, like burn so hard, go 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 go. And then around like 5, I start to really just decline. And then come 9, I'm like, goodbye world, you know, like I'm done. But you're the opposite. You kind of like slowly burn, and then you kind of, and then you go longer. Like I don't have that kind of energy. I just go and go and go till I can't go anymore, and then I'm just asleep.
Yeah. Well, most people wouldn't think, especially when I was younger and fatter, that I'm good at long distance sustained burning.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the things I'm really good at.
Yeah.
I used to love just being able to swim and swim and swim and swim. Just a big windmill, you know, just keep going and going and going. It's fun. It's exhilarating, you know, but it's hard to even find time to selfishly like do that kind of thing anymore. To spend it on yourself, it seems a little too narcissistic even. Because why do I need to be ridiculously strong? Why do I need to be steroid strong like Jack Donovan or something? Yes, that would be great if, you know, I came up against the Hulk or something. But for the most part, it would probably be more worthwhile if I spend it on weapons training, going to the range. You know, that would actually be more practical. Yeah. It's a little... Honestly, though, I really do feel like physical exercise is really crucial to maintain not only your physical health, it's your mental health as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know that personally. Like, I have to push myself to at least try and go for a walk if I can't get to the gym, or just do something physical for at least a half hour, because the dopamine and endorphins that it produces really help me, especially when I'm feeling really down, because it's really easy to get down with all of this awful information. Like, you know, you live with me, you know how I can get very depressed. And I have to push myself to do something physical. Even if it's just like 20 minutes of lifting weights, it doesn't have to be strenuous. It's just like get your blood pumping through your body, go for a walk, sweat. Yeah. Sweating is so important. Go out in the hot sun, and it may feel like crap, but just know that you can take a cold shower at the end or jump in a body of water. Oh. But push yourself to sweat every day. You can.
You don't want to work out when you're feeling like crap, but that's the time
you need to
work
push
out
through,
because you'll feel much better on the other side.
Yeah, it's like you need to sweat out that crappy feeling sometimes, and I don't always do it, but I know the times that I do it.
No, Sinead. The best thing is to have comfort food.
Oh yeah, I need to have like mac and cheese and milkshakes.
That's the way to
lay in bed
to feel better. People are giving
comfort food is a thing. Like I agree with that. Starches.
But people are giving such bad advice as to, well, this is how you actually deal with it.
Oh, you're sick, honey. Have a little milkshake.
Or you know, oh, you're sad about that. You're depressed. Let's just go get drunk and forget about it.
Yeah, that or eating a lot of the times is used to get over an emotional thing. It's sad.
Here's the thing. I'm not a teetotaler. I know that booze is poison, especially in large quantities. That's why I don't drink it in large quantities.
We definitely still drink, though. We're not like some kind of Puritan.
Well, I mean, compared to what I was doing when I was in college, and even after, it was sickening. Jesus. It was sickening. It was sickening how much I used to drink it.
Disgusting.
Like Veganator was on last night talking about he's never touched any drugs or any booze and this and that.
Good for you, Veganator, because we've drank enough booze to sink a ship. Many times over. It's disgusting.
Hey, do you know Nikola Tesla actually said that alcohol is the elixir of life? He was...
Kyle, we're secretly really smart.
He stopped drinking, and he said it probably took 15 or 10 years off of his life. He stopped during Prohibition because he wanted to be patriotic, didn't want to break the law. So he never picked it back up after that. But he didn't like tea or coffee, but thought that liquor was actually a good thing for him. He was a vegetarian himself. He liked his milk and ate some eggs. But there weren't really vegans.
There was no such thing.
So much back then.
That was all you knew is that's what you
There definitely wasn't coconut milk, almond milk, rice milk, hemp milk.
No, they didn't have food processors.
People think there's only soy milk out there. Come on, you gotta go out there and check it out.
So many other kinds of milks. Flax.
I like
chia.
I like oat and hemp personally.
Yeah, I think they're the creamiest. And they just taste the best to me. But for foaming for a cappuccino, you want almond or coconut.
You're drinking coffee?
I'm back on the bed.
You need to only drink booze, like Nicola was saying.
Well, I like booze and coffee.
And lots of...
Can I just do both?
booze and coffee together. Yes, you need the stimulant and the depressant to
The
negate
yin
each
and
other
the yang.
to get maximum effect. Nicola was smart, but he wasn't as smart as us, Sinead.
That's right. We're going to take it to the next level. Free energy and free booze for everybody. Take 10 years off your life, guys. Tesla said it. Let's quote him and make a cool infographic.
You know, if you really wanted to get a majority of votes in the United States, you could campaign on a platform of giving away free cannabis.
Yeah, you could.
And you know what? You could do it in a way that you could actually sell it to a lot of people. You know, in that if you're addicted to these opioids, if you're having if you are an alcoholic, we'll give you
this much
a free substitute to get you off that, as long as you're complying with X, Y, and Z.
I think that would honestly work for a lot of people. For the heroin, it would take a little bit more help because the withdrawals are really bad. But I don't know if you can medically manage that. You could probably manage that with cannabis, maybe extracts and oils and things like that, or certain potent strains. But honestly, I think so many people would choose that over booze. If they had to, if they were it would be much easier for them, because a lot of the times, I've been around it a lot in AA meetings or NA meetings, and people substitute addictions with other things like coffee and cigarettes or sex or just other weird little weird things that they do, because the addiction never goes away. It's just it's like flipping a catalog. What can I can be addicted to this or that, coffee, and some addictions are better than others, like running and working out. But at the end of the day, they usually have to find something to get that feeling. That relief.
Why are we talking about this? We should be talking about the alt-right. Damn it, Sinead.
We'll get back to it.
Stay tuned.
Need those extra shekels? Well, join Juba. Juba, with their Jewish partners, the Italian Coast Guard and other NGOs, are recruiting now. We require sea taxi transporters to pick up Negroes out of the Mediterranean. The more bodies, the greater the pay. No sat-nav required. It is a one-way fare, and that is northwards to Europe. So join Juba today. Let's increase white genocide and make those shekels on the side. Juba, the transportation company.
Now rising from below. Hail, hail, Sunnah, shine bright so we may grow. Hail, hail, Sunnah, light.
You could see that this was pretty screwed up. Apparently the Young Turks have a new intern or a new lady announcer. I don't really follow them. I don't really know what they do, but I guess she's a host. I don't know what it would be. So
an anchor, maybe?
An anchor, thank you. That's it. So they were doing a poll would you hit that? And he was like, A, yeah, I'd hit it with a chair. B, if I was drunk enough, I'd screw it. No, I'm waiting for my Aryan princess in the wheat field. Some stupid...
Which means I'm going to be jerking off.
Yeah.
I think that was part of it, was that, Yeah. Waiting for the Aryan princess while jerking off.
Yeah.
So, a bunch of different options with this poll, and the woman herself, it's kind of at least admitted or acknowledged in the article that she's probably not white, not 100% white. She has some white
features. She's definitely not white. Look
she's
at her.
Italian, perhaps a little bit, but probably Arab. Would you say?
She looks Arab. She doesn't look white. And I'm not trying to say that she's a horrible person because of that. It's just she's not white. So why is this white nationalist thing promoting screwing this girl?
Well, just even having an article about this is
So
absurd enough.
Yeah.
Just a random person from leftist media.
Would you hit that? Like, how, really? This is what our movement has become. Would you hit that or not?
Yeah.
Those are the polls that are being...
And also just giving out as a possibility of something that, these men obviously might like to do.
Yeah.
Is admitting that the white nationalist men that follow Daily Stormer, we shouldn't be concerned about upholding any kind of standards of racial purity. We're just hitting it. It's not like we're having children with them.
Yeah.
And even if we did, we could still advocate for our race. There are plenty of people out there that do.
They see themselves as like these gods that they think that women want to really like have their babies, and that they can just impregnate some woman who they think has good DNA and then go like screw whores on the side and just be this like god emperor, like I can have whatever woman I want. I just grab them by the pussy. Like this is the Trump whole thing going on here. It's like this weird archetype or some kind of weird thing. They all want to aspire to be that piece of shit.
If you're rich enough, if you have enough shekels, you can just grab anybody by the pussy.
Do whatever you want.
You can grab them by the mussy, too, if you're rich and Spencer.
Your pussy.
Yeah, man pussy.
So gross. Yeah, well, you can, apparently. Phalanx.
Well, I was talking about Nina and her Adam's apple.
Nino. We're gonna call her Nino. Doesn't that mean like boy
Yeah,
child?
it means boy.
Nino, El Nino.
Are we supposed to be getting El Nino this summer or this fall?
Oh shit! It's gonna be Nina Byzantina. She's actually El Nino.
Like
The red storm is coming.
There's La Nina, which means
Little girl. Right?
yeah, it means
Little
girl.
girl?
Yeah, little
Yeah,
girl.
La Niña.
Nina.
Niños. Or
Yeah, Ninos
children.
means children, right? Showing our knowledge of Spanish, we're preparing for
Si, senor.
our coming.
Yeah,
our
we're gonna
coming
move to
overlords.
South. We're gonna move to South America.
Okay, so let me read actually a quote here from Andrew Anglin in the first poll article. He did a follow up as well. Very, cutting edge news. Blah, 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 degeneracy, yes, everyone agrees. Fact of reality is that this is not 1637, and we are not marrying just had our first menstruation last week, virgin brides.
Because that's the ideal. Menstruated last week.
Just started. Yeah. And how early does that occur right now?
Right now, about 9 to 12.
Isn't that interesting?
Sometimes 13, but that's pretty late these days.
So Daily Stormer is essentially Pizzagate.
Yeah, they're pushing for that.
Virgin brides. Virgin brides means child brides.
Yeah.
Yeah. Islamic. ISIS.
This whole...
traditional. Excuse me.
Trad life.
Trad life.
Please do not call it some anti-white term. It's trad life. It's clearly Aryan. And you're being really anti-white and leftist right now, and you're pretty much a libtard. And you need a helicopter ride. I'm so good at being all right. It's really easy. I just spit out these pre-programmed phrases.
All right, let's continue with this quote. We all want everything to be back to the way it's supposed to be, but we're a long way from that. I don't blame anyone for banging some slut from a bar, and I certainly don't blame anyone for joking about it on the internet. This is real life. What else is he promoting here? He's promoting going out and getting drunk at a bar.
Screwing strangers, which is very gay.
Yeah, who owns the liquor companies, by the way? Most of them.
Well, Irish people, right?
Yes, because Irish people like to drink booze.
Yeah,
so
that's
it must be
clearly-
them. So
yeah.
we'll just follow that train of thought.
Yeah, because Irish booze, yeah.
Seagram's, I think it's by the McMahons. I think the McMahons own Seagram's.
Pretty sure. Might even be the McCarthys.
Yeah, it could be.
Bacardi is pretty much probably the Hunts.
Yes. With the bat symbol. Because Hunts usually use the bat symbol.
That makes sense.
Yes.
No, it's not freaking Irish people. Hopefully you guys got that.
So, banging some slut from a bar. No standards. I don't blame anyone for banging some slut from a bar.
Why are you out looking for sluts at a bar, first of all?
I thought you were against thoughts.
Yeah.
Now you're chasing them?
Well, there's the double speak, right?
Yeah.
Like, we got a real thought problem, but we need to just keep screwing them. It's like, well, supply and demand. You guys want them, and then they come to you, and then you're like, no. Well, yes, but we're still going to be mad at you for giving us exactly what we told you we wanted.
Do you remember?
Like,
you remember? Yeah. Do you remember when he used to promote smoking cigarettes?
Yes, it was considered.
He might still, but
well, remember that Kenneth Anger-esque picture?
yeah.
Of him smoking the cigarette.
Scorpio Rising.
Yes.
People need to take a look at the
With
cover of Scorpio Rising, where it's about these like homo butt sex Nazis.
Yep.
It was made by Kenneth Anger, the Satanist.
Homosexual
their
Satanist
biker club,
director.
and the cover photo is this bald guy with a cigarette hanging out of his mouth in the same exact way as Andre Anglin.
It's not an accident. Just like Weave raising his hand in the same manner that Allen Ginsberg
with his
raised
shirt
his
off.
hand with his shirt off, black and white photo. They're laughing.
He
laughing.
looks exactly like him. Too.
This is being thrown in our faces.
Well,
They're occult connections. Like
Tara Jew Carthy with her
Tara
okay.
Jew Carthy with all of them with their okays. Do you see Laura Loomer? Do you see the Gigi, whatever her name is from Teen Vogue, who was doing the fash hole sign with the finger through it?
Yeah.
She was literally doing what you did on your profile. Like, this is what the fash hole
idiots.
means.
You're putting up an anus
This is
symbol.
what you're doing, and she's like promoting anal
It's
sodomy
not just
on her.
it's just sodomy. It's often representing sodomy with young children,
Yes,
as Allen
yes,
Ginsberg.
yes. Well, it's the illumination.
Anal Ginsberg puts that up there, and Jimmy Savile. We showed that in the film.
You know what's really interesting? I noticed today, because I had to do that CPR thing. When children are 8 years old, that's when they switch to the adult-sized pads for like the defibrillator. So there's something very interesting going on with their heart rhythms at that age too, because they're all of a sudden considered an adult heart at age 8.
Yeah, well, you gotta get them before 8. Or it's too late.
Right. So there's something even with the heart, with the electrical impulses of the heart, that at age 8 something really drastic happens within the boy's physiology, and they know about that, and I think that's why they are saying sex before 8 or it's too late, because they know that they have to tap into that part of their mind that's going to stick forever. They're going to be that predator, they're going to be that gay boy forever.
Well,
at age 8.
I don't think they need to actually have sex with them before 8 anymore. They just need to get their tranny LGBTQZP programming down their throat, and that itself will change them internally.
It's so scary, Kyle, thinking of these 8-year-olds saying you need to get new parents, because I remember when I was a teenager and I hated my parents, I seriously would be like, I want to go to a foster home. I hate you guys suck. And little did I know what was waiting out there. So gladly, I was never sent away, but like these children are saying, you parents suck. We want new parents.
Lactatia.
Well, they're going to get them.
Where was Lactatia?
Lactatia.
He was in Canada doing this.
Yep.
And it was actually, this preceded the law in Canada that said that if a parent doesn't go along with their child's gender identity, then their child can be taken from them by the state.
There you go. They want children to tell on their parents, and this started with DARE. I remember we were talking about this earlier. They would basically, and even pediatrician appointments, they'd say, they would have my parents leave the room and say, do your parents have any guns? Do your parents make you wear the seatbelt? And they would actually ask my mom to leave the room.
Yeah, doctors
and
are
my mom would
agents
do it.
of the state.
They are. And they even, would check parts of your body that were unnecessary to check, like look down your pants and stuff. Like, why do you actually need to look at that part of a child? Like, unless there's a problem, like you have a
on there,
do you have like a tumor growing,
anything going on, or
otherwise that's none of your business, and that's violating my privacy.
I would even feel weird about it when I was in college, having to go through the physicals.
Did they make you guys coughed? Was that the standard thing?
I don't think they were doing
Squat
that
and
necessarily in college,
okay.
but I do remember
I remember that being a standard thing of guys'
I do remember
physicals
that having
they
to
didn't
cough.
like.
I don't know if that was required in college, but a lot of it's also emasculating. Like when men get older. And you gotta get
prostate
your prostate
exam
checked.
Oh god, that's disgusting. So don't they insert fingers?
Yeah, you gotta get a Jew to penetrate your anus.
And they get colonoscopies where they literally knock them out. And a lot of these people are actually survivors of trauma, of childhood sexual abuse, because I knew someone that used to work in the anesthesia room where they put them down for these colonoscopy procedures, and they would have flashbacks because they thought that what was happening to them as a child or when they were abused, it was happening again. And so it was re-traumatizing them from what they already experienced.
I'll tell you what, when I was really, really young, and this is even something I don't even like mentioning because it is emasculating. I remember a doctor when I was really young checking out something with my anus, and I just knew it was wrong, and I felt violated.
That's terrible.
And I was like, "What? No."
Were your parents in the room or no?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's usually how it's done. They're like, okay, you need to leave the room and we're just going to check on everything. And trust me, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Like, how inappropriate is that? Your mother could have looked at whatever the hell was going on with you. And or if you were older and embarrassed, the mother or father could have coached you through it. Like, okay, so what do you see? Like, are you okay? You can handle this yourself. If you need anything, let us know. Like, it's so invasive.
I felt so violated when I had to get the shots too. When I was old
I
enough
remember
to,
that feeling in my
Oh, yeah.
muscles.
That
I
was-
have dreams about it.
my mother, I was trying to find refuge in her, like being like, no, I'm not going to do it. I
Yeah,
can't do it. No,
yeah.
do not
Yeah.
make this. Do not. I was pleading, and eventually, I had to succumb.
Yeah.
There was no choice.
Yeah.
I had to get it, but
Yeah.
and I wasn't going to be one to just freak out and scream and yell. It was just.
It's like you have to put up with this, like, bite the bullet.
You have
It's
to
what everybody
submit
has to do it.
in this system.
I've had like vivid dreams, and I've told you about them, of actually being chased down in my dreams and having something like injected into my muscles. And I can actually, when I think about it, and I can actually feel what it felt like. I could feel that stuff spreading in my muscles as it was injected into my body. And I remember getting sick after the flu shot, and everybody just saying, that's what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to get sick after the flu shot. And I remember thinking, this is retarded.
Yeah,
Why?
I think it was the tetanus shot that I had to get. It was probably combined with something else, but
Yeah.
it wasn't nearly as bad as it is now with the schedule of shots.
By the time, I should get my little sheet during the break and read maybe a little bit out, like by the all the stats.
Yeah.
By the time a child's 3, the amount of foreign viruses that are in their body with the CDC schedule that's set up, I mean, it's insane. I know that I personally have vaccine damage. Like, I don't know if anybody else out there can notice because they, aren't like hyper focused. But I know when I look at my face, there are certain things that aren't symmetrical, and I know.
I'm not symmetrical.
Yeah, no, like we were talking about this with our other friends. Like, all of us have little droops in our faces or little mini. That's what's we have mini
I'm not
strokes.
completely retarded, but I'm not.
We're not. We're very damaged.
As good
like,
as I should be.
Even the best of us at this point in the game, we are damaged. We are nowhere near what we could have been, and that's what really pisses me off, because I'm like, look, we're pretty powerful as we're barely hanging on by a thread right now, gasping for air. Imagine what we could have been with all of that we were supposed to be born with. Like, fuck you people or whatever you are for stealing that from us.
Imagine if I wasn't mutilated my sexual organs when I was first born. Imagine if I wasn't shot up with a bunch of crap.
And your hair wasn't chopped off,
my
and you were
hair.
forced to shave, and you were forced to get down on your knees every Sunday and pray to Yahweh, and fucking go to school and have to sit in a chair and sit in a desk for 8 hours. And if you literally, they took me to get an evaluation because I was fidgeting my foot. They were like, oh, she's ADHD, she's fidgeting. How the hell are you supposed to sit still for that long?
Think of how much energy real children have. When I say real children, I mean the ones who are...
We know.
Yeah, they'll just run and run.
Oh
They have so
my
much energy. When
gosh,
you
it's
try to
incredible.
bottle that up and just stick it in a seat and only
It's
give it an
gonna
outlet
explode.
of, add up this number with that number, do this stupid task with that stupid task. It's not going to end well, so you have to medicate them. And we'll say, it's the problem of the child, not with the system.
That's it.
Or not with
Why
the
aren't they-
vaccines, or
why
not
aren't they
with
fitting
any
you?
of... Yeah.
And that's what drives me crazy. It's like, you can't begin to treat these symptoms that people are calling autism. No, it's brain damage. It's poisoning. It's toxicity. It's not autism. It's not some like random thing that happened.
Yep. And it's
poison.
It's just ridiculous expecting these children to sit in rows and columns, or sometimes they put them clumped together in little groups. But it's just...
There's no free will.
And they often don't even get to talk to each other, work with each other, interact with each other. You have to listen to this authority figure who's just telling you meaningless bullshit. Mm-hmm. I did very well in school because I realized I could, and I realized that was a way to get ahead and try to...
Make it easier.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it all just be easier.
And it did get easier, because some classes I didn't even have to do the homework.
You get little bones thrown to you, like, there you go,
I didn't
good
have to
boy.
take my finals because I actually instituted the policy of the school because I was in such an influential position, because I had done so well and people respected me. when I was still in school, I instituted a policy where seniors didn't have to take their final exams if they passed, if they got 88 in the course. So I didn't have to take any of my finals.
That's
so
awesome.
I just got the whole time off. It was great. So, I did very much benefit from doing well, and I learned to...
I'm sure it was easy for you, too. It wasn't too challenging.
Yeah, well, I was a pretty big fish in a small pond, to be honest. But that's the way it's kind of always been, is that... you're not allowed to really excel, though.
No. Not in your own independent sense. Right. It's within the confines of what they deem acceptable or not.
Well, you've still always got to stay with, basically, the curriculum, which is often geared towards some of the weakest links, even if you're taking honors or AP.
And geared towards an agenda, which is almost always anti-life.
It's never practical, though. No. It's never... Because this is what you can actually make a living
off.
Like,
this is how you can start your own business.
Except actually a few elective courses as it will take.
Phasing out
a business course, which was an elective. You'd think maybe this would be a very important one. Home economics, very practical. Some of those things: how to make food for yourself and for others, sell them. How to fix up your clothes, how to make new clothes, how to do all these things that involve your home economics. Or drafting was a course I took. I loved it. I was good at it. You can actually make a good living off of drafting, woodshop, creating things. But these are things, as you said, that are getting phased out. Or music. Actually, you can make a career out of music. You can be if you know guitar well enough and can sing, you can go out there and get gigs.
Or play with a symphony if you play a string instrument. But, there's a future for you doing.
But no, they want us to be dependent. If this was a real legitimate system, by the time you're age 14
you'd have
or 12, you can start doing apprenticeships. Yep. You can even try out a few.
Yep. And see what you like. Oh, you like architecture? Oh, you try it out. Oh, it wasn't for you. Then try this.
And you could do valuable work, but they're child labor laws. I understand the need for child labor laws, but we're infantilizing young people such that, and also, they're doing work anyway. They're laboring. They're pushing paper.
Yeah.
They're doing all sorts of tasks.
They're lab rats. They're being tested on constantly.
Yes, that's true. But they're not getting any value back for what they're putting in, all this energy, all this studying. No. Imagine if they're actually doing something practical.
And they're building towards their future.
Yes. And
building their future house.
And let's say they're just getting a little bit of money for it. It's
a
whole lot better.
They can start saving for their family.
It's still a whole lot better than what they were getting otherwise, being stuck in school. So you could even just start a program where half the day in school, half with an apprenticeship. If you were really trying to have independent people and self-sustaining people, but that's not what they want. They want people taking out these massive loans to go to college to get a degree that's not going to do anything. It's not going to train them for anything. Paying for a piece of paper. It's absurd.
It's the complete opposite. They want us completely reliant and not able to do any kind of practical life skills. By the time a boy or girl is a teenager, 13, 16, they should be able to understand how to build their own house. And I know some people might think that sounds crazy, but it's not. Because there was a time when young people knew how to do that, how to build a cabin or how to
grow their own food.
Grow their own food.
And they love it. They will eat these things up. They love doing this stuff.
Seeing the literal fruits of their labor. We love it. That's why we try to do what we do, because we can actually see all the hard work that we put into something. We can watch, they might be virtual digital seeds, but we're planting them.
Let's play Farmville instead.
Let's play Candy Crush or Panda Pop. That would be way better.
People are spending all this time on Facebook playing Farmville.
Yeah.
Farming digitally.
Or camhorning.
That got them. Yeah, well, let's talk about this. I'll segue from the Andrew Anglin talk and say and talk and say that Anglin tried to basically come through and have a moral type of message afterwards, after the poll results were in, chastising his readership for just being kind of degenerate, and he doesn't have so much of a sex drive now that he's almost 33. He's almost my age. So, things get a little bit different, but he understands them.
Well, he's like their patriarch.
Yeah. And he says, he says that porn is, one of the worst things, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So porn's bad, but go out there and bang some sluts.
Yeah, because, actually, there can be pro-white porn. The White Rose told me that.
Yes.
She's helping people to get off of porn by making porn.
But she's just, she's a copycat. She's not the real deal.
She's not a hard one.
Electre, the hardcore.
Electre's the real deal.
What did Ramsey Paul call her?
like a heroine or like
courageous.
Yeah, like she is one brave woman. She's so brave, and she like spreads her legs with strangers on film, and does some other disgusting
She does
stuff.
more than just.
She does more than It's pretty disgusting, like very violent, like choking, disgusting stuff.
Yeah, makeup smeared because she's been crying. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the White Rose. I had posted one of her videos because it was a pertinent video. It was about the left's, because she won't name the Jew, the left's push for, and it is coming largely from the left, this agenda.
Well, it was just nice to have someone like putting something out there about these fuckers, but like it's the layers of truth. So we have a porn cam girl who's saying like, we shouldn't sexualize children, but you can sexualize me instead.
Well, it's not even
like,
that. She
really?
even did videos about how porn was destructive.
Yeah. Porn is destructive. Yet in May, she's literally like, I'm gonna be on cam for 4 more hours. Check out my cute little outfit. So all you stupid retards who are donating to her Patreon are paying for her little slutty outfits that she's gonna wear to masturbate on camera for strangers in her tinfoil room.
And you're not even getting access to that.
You're not even getting that. So you're literally paying for her porn outfits. And what, you get a little shitty video once in a while, she throws you a bone like, white people shouldn't go extinct. And you're all like, oh my God, good job. So it's pretty fucking sad.
No, listen, this isn't just us talking out of our behinds here. She has admitted this. She came at me. Yeah. Because I pointed out her other Twitter channel.
Webcam vixen.
She described herself as a webcam vixen. She had
really, you're better than
that. So somebody had actually responded to me on Twitter and pointed out this other Twitter channel, which she's actively participating in.
She has the same hair, the same background. Like, if there's one thing, if you have a checkered past, I'm not going to hold that against you. Like, we're all living in a sick culture, but you have to leave that behind. You can't hold on to one little ounce of it. So if you're out there on your old webcam thing being like, I'm going live, she tried to tell me that she's helping guys find girlfriends in those little, like, skanky webcam little outfits. But she's not naked.
Well,
so
she says she stopped doing the nude ones a year ago. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either, because she's tweeting that shit out as of May.
But
glorifying sex work.
Okay,
she literally retweeted other cam girls who are naked dancing around, saying that basically sex work is empowering. You know, men want to shame women and blah, 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 but sex work is empowering. There's a happy middle, okay? People shouldn't be shaming women for just having a sex drive, but then there's not... You don't
or
have
being
to be,
beautiful.
Or being beautiful.
And we showed this in the last documentary.
Yeah.
I've been pointing out for so long. You don't need to swing from the polar opposites of extreme traditionalism, where you have women in burqas, like the Jews do, and people just think it's the Muslims. No, it's the Jews do this, and Christians as well.
Christians,
and you don't have to swing to
the other extreme,
to twerking, doing porn, that kind of stuff.
Like, she's masturbating on camera for strangers. There's nothing wrong with female sexuality. There's nothing wrong with it. But that's exploitative. No. That's paintings
like in the Third Reich. Yes, that could be a healthy, nude, beautiful representation. That's the beautiful female
form. But you're doing this for strangers. You're an exhibitionist. Masturbation is not for random strangers to watch you do. That's very, very perverse. And just stop doing it. Just stop doing it, because you're not helping our cause by associating yourself with family-centered, pro-white things that you want children to live on into the future, and you want to be taken seriously. Well, you need to get rid of all of that shit. I know your past follows you, but you can denounce that and say, I don't want anything to do with it anymore.
This is what she said to me after I pointed out her other Twitter channel. A webcam girl that has helped dozens of men overcome severe porn addiction and is raising awareness on important topics. How despicable, really. I don't know what the point in putting myself out there to be ridiculed is, when most of the hate I get is from people who are supposedly on my side. And she puts in quotes, oh, but why didn't you talk about topics that would land you in prison? Must be because you're being paid by the Jews, isn't it? So she's making she's making excuses like that. She's not talking about the Jews, but it's because it will land her in prison.
Where does she even live?
I don't know, but I responded to her. Porn is dangerous. Want to pay me to see me rub my clit? So
Fight white genocide.
That's the kind of cognitive dissonance message that she's putting out. That porn is dangerous. Stay away from it.
But watch me.
But if you want to pay me to, masturbate on cam, I've got this other channel.
It's pro-white though. Like I got pro-white porn.
Yeah, Avalia has put out some pro-white porn too. It seems. Yeah.
Really proud of you, ladies. You're really making our ancestors proud. Freya is shining down, smiling upon you right now. Good job.
All right, we've got a second hour coming up. Still no callers. Maybe you will join. Stay tuned, everyone.
Our axes flash, peroxide swing, shining armors piercing ring. Horses run with a polished shield, fight those bastards till they yield. Midnight man, blood red rowan, fight to keep this land your own.
We are taught almost nothing about South Africa in Western schools, other than that there was an evil apartheid government of white racists who oppressed everyone until the great Saint Nelson Mandela came along. Now you can learn the real history of exploration, conflict, concentration camps for the Boers, Jewish-funded black terrorism, Winnie Mandela and her necklacing, rampant murder and rape under the ANC, the so-called squatter camps, how the Rainbow Nation is a blueprint for what's to come for whites worldwide, and so much more. Between Heaven and Hell, The True Story of Whites in South Africa by Sinead McCarthy, free to watch at whitesouthafrica.com. Renegade Broadcasting, hard-hitting talk radio. Welcome back. The second hour. Here on the Renegade Roundtable, it's me, Kyle. Now I've got Sinead with me. Anything else you wanted to say about the cam whores who are pretending to be pro-white?
I guess to make a long statement short, I understand that people have been raised in utter filth. I get it. But there's another option out there. And if you want to start promoting a healthier lifestyle for people and being, a source of light, please just get rid of all the old stuff that you have out there, or at least show an effort that you're trying to distance yourself from your old image and not tweet out from the same account that was, taking pictures in your little cam outfits, a month or two ago, because it doesn't help our cause at all. And it only furthers the false narrative that white women are dumb whores, that all we can do is be paid for sex and get paid to talk like little robots because we don't have any original thoughts of our own and we're not creative, and we just need to be programmed like robots because that's all that we are. We're a blank slate, and that's not true. So please, everybody, just know that there's a better life out there, and you don't have to be a piece of shit and just dissociate from that place.
We had a little theory that some of these girls were just cam whores.
Yeah, they're picked up by people that had money. Yeah.
Yes.
And obviously, cam whores wouldn't exist without the demand there, so it's a two-part thing. But I don't agree with either side of it, and I really just wish that this, this fake shit would go away, because we have real issues to deal with. We have real children that are going to be faced with really awful life situations if we don't do something now. And this is not a joke. This is not a job. This is not some kind of fun gig for your cam career. This is serious.
You mentioned being a robot, and
sorry, my cat is attacking me. I'm going to throw her out. Go ahead.
Good idea. There is a picture of the White Rose, which is actually was a German organization that was anti-Nazi and was trying to use peaceful means to overthrow the evil Nazi oppressors.
Really, I didn't know that. That's very interesting. The White Rose.
Well, and what was used to actually denazify everyone?
Pedophilia.
And
mind control.
Just overdose of all sorts of sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that
the
was the Frankfurt School.
Yes,
that was it. That was what we discussed in our last film
which is the most important
which needs to be freaking shared all over and put on all these different sites. But of course, the alt-right won't freaking touch it. Nobody will touch it. Nobody will interview us about it.
No one cares. No one
Groundbreaking.
will. No one will interview us. It's barely broken. 2,000 views. You know, I sat at our lunch today and I was just like, you know what? Why the fuck am I even doing this? Because I really... And I'm not trying to be negative, but I just really get down sometimes. Like, we put so much work into this. It was so groundbreaking. It was the most important thing. Like, this is the whole entire
Keystone
thing.
Here.
This is it. And people don't even want to fucking know.
Why aren't we resisting? Why haven't we kicked these Jews in the freaking ass for everything they've done to us?
In your face. It's so in your face.
They got to our children. They will get you through your children.
And they did. That's exactly what they said. And they did it. And they're saying today that you're not going to exist in 10 years or whatever. And they will do that if no one does anything.
And some people are celebrating the fact that, well, you know, we'll have sex bots. We don't even need white women. It doesn't even matter if they exist. Who cares? We're entering into the fashy future here.
Yep.
Artificial wombs and sex bots. You know, it's just everything is looking great.
The singularity, man.
You mentioned the White Rose looking like a sex bot. Let's talk about this because it was something that was brought up in the film. Brought up in the film because it was talking about AI with the sex bots, which seemed outlandish when the film came out. You know, not outlandish, but very futuristic.
Yeah.
Now they're rolling them out in a big way. They have sex bot brothels.
Yeah.
Yeah, bang the bots. This is totally just a great MGTOW type of anti-feminist position to take.
It's really scary that people could actually like get sexually aroused by an inanimate object. Like, that's very scary to me. That tells me that they've already, like, the robots don't even need to come. Like, they're already here. They're banging like silicon objects that don't even have a heartbeat.
Okay, well, people were buying the fleshlights that were being advertised by Joe Rogan on his
while
podcast.
watching pornography. It's so weird. It's like they've been put into this virtual reality.
Are you bot or not? Yes.
Well, you know what's interesting? I forget. I was listening to something. It might have been Joe Atwill and Sophia talking about how even just like the invention of film gave the viewer, the feeling of omnipresence. Like they were a god looking in on something. So with pornography, with pornography, it's even further that. So people like we're living in a perverse society where everybody is like is voyeuristic and it's encouraged, and they want to like just go off into another dimension that doesn't even exist so they can like perv on other weird people that are doing stuff. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Why are we here?
You know, I don't think that homosexuality would have been as accepted without pornography.
No.
And I think pornography makes a lot of men homosexual, and they tried to sneak into pornography, and they successfully have, I'm sure, tranny porn. Yeah. You know, all these free sites out there. If something's being offered for free, you gotta wonder why. if it's not maybe part of some mind control operation.
Yep.
And so what they do is, of course, the interracial, the trannies, all sorts of sick, the barely legal, all
and
the
I'm
stuff
sure they're
that
probably
tries
not
to
legal.
normalize.
I think there's been a lot of young girls baiting people on cam like Avalion for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it was organized in her case, but like there's no way for these cam girls to like filter out their age. You know, like there are girls on there that they're probably like little girls that have access to the internet, and this is what they've grown up doing, and they learned at a young age that they can make money doing this disgusting stuff, and that they can manipulate guys, because, you know, we have the deviant males, but there are deviant females who realize that they can use their sexuality to do whatever the hell they want and get whatever the hell, wherever they want in life.
Get lots of money.
Get lots of money and trample on whoever they have to, break whoever's heart to get what they want. And there are a lot of sick people on both ends of the gender spectrum.
Yeah.
There's sick people. So it's not good on either side, and especially when they start trying to be spokespeople for, you know, white civilization.
What an easy out that is, to just masturbate on camera.
Yeah. How easy is that? You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to do anything. You people are fucking lazy. Do you know how easy it is?
I put on a cute outfit. I acted sexy and I did a little
But
dance.
I puffed up my lips and I made them look like this. I was like, I did a duck face like this, and I cut my bangs so I looked like a robot, and I did that, and I masturbated. So like, I'm pretty important. And, you know, I'm going to leave a legacy for my children. They're going to be like, my mom was a cam whore. She used to masturbate on camera for random strangers. And look at the archives of her videos masturbating. I'm so proud to be her child.
White role model.
She's a great role model for young girls.
Well,
Girls are empowered.
Our first fashy lady, the best. She's totally not a tranny. It's not.
No.
It could be, but I don't know that one for sure. We're so fucked up right now.
We don't even know
that we don't even know who's a real
know.
woman or not.
We don't even know.
That's why transvestigations are so compelling, is nobody even freaking
Nobody knows.
anymore. That's how
and
sick everything is.
You can think for a moment. You're like, yeah, that's but wait, I don't know.
Yeah. Melania, nude lesbian pics out there. She's a pornographer. She was actually probably a call girl.
Yes, that's exactly what she probably was. A child rape victim.
Warders covered this with Paolo Zampoli, this guy who is now
was modeling
ambassador
that
to ambassador to Dominican Republic. He was also an ambassador somewhere else after of course introducing Trump and Matrania. But just all these pictures freely available for anybody out there online to just search for Melania Trump nude.
Can you imagine a young girl or a young boy? That's the first lady. Okay, this is the leader of our country. This is an acceptable thing to do. This is normal.
Or the president himself, the president of the free world, the
Playboy,
number one guy,
Playboy,
popping
champagne,
bottles, like
literally like simulating ejaculation.
That's what it is.
Onto a bunny, a Playboy bunny.
Yes.
Which, very interesting, bunnies hump, right? Bunnies have tons of babies, right? They breed and breed and breed and breed. The white rabbit followed the white rabbit, huh? Like, what's up with that? What was up with that Horus guy with the white rabbit thing?
Well,
Putin's
a savior.
That always made me feel very strange. The white rabbit. Like, why are you calling us rabbits, dude? We're people.
Well, he's given some justifications for that, but when you consider the reference there with Lewis Carroll and going down the rabbit hole,
and Lewis Carroll being a pedophile,
all the pictures that we turned
lusting
to
after
paintings
young
for
naked
these
girls,
young naked girls, and that's what he based Alice off of.
And that's a total dissociative
mind
film. Remember, Go Ask Alice, that song. Go ask Alice when she's 10 feet tall, and it's all about like, Mama gave me a pill or something.
Yeah.
What's the
red pill? No, that's cool.
Or
get
the
red
ones
pill.
It's something about Mama giving you a pill. The ones that make you
tall and small,
make you taller, and there's one that makes you small.
Yeah,
and the one that Mama gives you won't do anything at all. That's
No, taking pills is great because you start to hallucinate and you end up fighting for Zion.
And then you're in the Matrix with those tranny sisters, the Wachowski.
They're trad wives now.
They are, they're pretty much like Ayla.
They're so red.
Did you guys hear about Aylagate?
So red.
Did you hear about Aylagate? Your lovely wife with a purpose, actually, as of 2 years ago, was having sex
No, I
with
don't know
women.
I don't know if it was 2 years ago.
Was writing about it 2 years? It was
Maybe,
2 years
maybe
ago.
she was writing about it, but yeah, she was in a lesbian relationship while she was joining the Mormon church.
Yeah.
And
Got really mad that the Mormons were saying that gays are bad. It just seems that the people that were super, super extreme have now swung to the other extreme, and that's why
liberals to extreme conservatives.
That's why I'm like, whoa, guys, like, chill out. Look, I was a piece of shit too. Like, I was no like little angel, but like, there's a happy middle here, and we don't have to be all crazy.
They
Let's
need the
just
problem
chill
reaction
out.
solution here, and basically the problem of teenage promiscuity and the female blah 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 is then the kind of white Sharia Handmaid's Tale solution to keep us swinging. Or even it's the same thing they do with the right versus the left. Look at the problem of Obama and this and that, and he was just like Trump, and of course Obama got in because look at what was going on with the right, it's so extreme, so we need to swing back over to this other direction. That's the only way to solve this problem.
And with Obama, they were trying to push the whole he's a Muslim, and now with Trump, it's like he's overtly Jewish. So you have the Muslim versus Jew thing again.
No, he's a white supremacist.
Well, I mean, look, he was at the Wailing Wall. The Jews, it depends on which narrative you're viewing, because the Jews see him as the Jewish savior, and the white people see him as the white savior.
Thanks, David Duke.
Seriously, this is how pathetic it is at this point. Jews and whites are at the same fucking level right now of, like, retardedness.
Well, the slut walk.
Okay,
I saw that the slut walk was, they have banned any Israeli occupation symbols. They're not allowing the Jew star to be flown on the flag. So the liberals are the ones who are protesting against Israel and the BDS. Okay, so you don't want to be with them. You want to be the flash masters over there who are sticking to the Muslims. They don't give a shit. They'll bomb the fuck out of them.
Just kill them all.
It's like Lana said, yeah.
Go be wash, go be wash, go be wash. I can't even speak that language, but that's exactly what he says. Alexander Dugin. Kill, kill, kill. Kill the Ukrainians.
Oh, yeah. What about that Jew who made the video? I'm seeing somebody post in the chat. the guy who likes anime a lot. Posting in the chat.
And Chris Dorsey.
The video.
And Dorsey.
Yeah, the video about Andrew. A Jew made this about Andrew Anglin about
being a Rothschild.
About how Andrew Anglin looks exactly like a bunch of people he'll run into on the streets of Tel Aviv, and he looks a whole lot like the Rothschilds.
I actually have not watched this, but I've seen so many people share it around. I should.
And the guy was right. He's an Israeli Jew, and he was saying, Andrew Anglin looks more Jewish than me. And he was honest. He was right.
Yeah. Well, Andrew Anglin probably is a Jew.
No.
I would not be surprised.
No.
Even these dumbass people that are like, oh yeah, I see that he's a bad guy, they still don't want to admit that this is organized. That this is not just some kind of organic thing that happened.
Yeah. Well, let's see what else we got here. Something about BDS, which I found interesting. I saw this Daily Beast article. It was saying, don't even worry about the fake ruckus about a phony Israeli anti-boycott law. Well, there's actually something to it, it seems. This law that they're trying to get passed, the ADL is blowing it up to be like this big, excuse me, not the ADL, the AIPAC, blowing up to this big victory. Mm-hmm. But essentially all it is saying it's adding to a 1977 act, the Export Administration Act, where it said that no business can participate with a foreign-led boycott of a U.S. ally. And, of course, Israel's our greatest ally.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're just adding that it includes the UN as well. That it can't be a UN boycott that you're joining up with, because the UN has...
It's everybody. It's the world.
Well, the UN has said different things. It's kind of criticizing Israel.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit.
But the thing is, there is no UN boycott. Obviously.
Right.
Okay, if somebody's calling me, please don't.
Let me go take care of that. You keep going.
Just throw that down the well.
I'm going.
Okay. What we got here? Yeah. So there's also the point about not being able to even ask for information about a boycott from the UN or from some other foreign nation. Okay, there's a point that he's making here in this Daily Beast article, and it's interesting to see. And it does look like all these different sides are kind of blowing this up. And I think it's all part of this big narrative, this big strategic thing that's going on here. The ACLU standing up and saying, oh, this is very much against free speech. Come on, the ACLU. The ACLU they're not our friends. But what is very interesting to me is seeing how, well, Donald Trump has not come out and spoken against this, saying this is against the First Amendment. You know, it actually seems like during Trump's administration, we've seen the biggest curbs on free speech yet.
Yeah.
But some people will think, oh, no, this is actually against Trump supporters, and that's what's really going on,
No,
because
it's
Facebook and Twitter,
Jews.
they're liberal. It's Jews.
Yeah.
Trump said very clearly that he wanted to close up the internet. Did he not?
He did. You know, something that I've seen too, a lot of this like misinformation that's being spread online with these nationalist people that are really just Jews. They'll share Palestinian protests or like anti-Israel protests from Palestinians, and they'll translate it, even though they're not really saying it. They'll have the closed captioning say, "Death to America," like, "Screw America." And then they see the Palestinian flag. And then this gets shared all over Facebook. Look at them. They want to destroy the West.
Goddamn dancing Israelis.
Yes. yeah. Dancing Palestinians, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, those Palestinians are so evil and they have so much power. So this is what they're doing. And I've pointed that out to several people, and at least they'll come around and say, oh, shit, you're right, Sinead. Like, I should have looked at that. But I'm like, guys, did anybody actually listen? Because they were saying it in English. I was like, did anybody actually listen? Turn on the sound. Because, you know, when you're on social media, you just kind of, and this is what they're playing on.
Yeah.
Our attention spans are very short.
I don't
unmute
unmute some of the videos.
I don't either. I'm just like, oh, yeah, that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So we really need to be critical when we're going through our social media feeds. And I know our attention span is limited because we have so much bombarding us. But, like, just really think critically, because these people were saying nothing about death to America. They were saying basically death to Israel, and that's what we really need. I don't want to kill innocent people, but Israel, the terrorist state that it is right now, needs to be stopped. And the Palestinians that are protesting their own genocide, their own death, there's nothing wrong with that. So this misinformation is being spread by Jews so they can try and infiltrate a pro-white thing and make it a right-wing Western civilization thing, when it's not Western civilization, it's white civilization. And they need to go away and separate themselves from us because we are not compatible. And all of these Tara Jew Carthys and all of these alt-right millennial woes people need to fuck off and either go to Israel or just leave. Get out of our countries.
Yes. As Paul Joseph Watson said, I just don't see it. I don't see the Jewish influence. I'm
flabbergasted, honestly. I mean, where are all these Jews? They own all the Hollywood studios and Alex Jones, and I'm a Jew, but I just don't see them anywhere.
A vast majority of Alex Jones's advertisers. Yeah,
no. But they're not Zionist Jews. They're the cool Jews. They're
based
like the
right-wing Jews.
They're based Jews, like
Michael Savage, who Richard Spencer
and reactionary Jew.
Reactionary Jew. He's so fashy.
Based. He is so based. You know what's sad is that Lana was more of a Jew than reactionary Jew. Reactionary Jew was like, you know what, Lana? We probably shouldn't kill all of the Arabs. Yeah. And she was like, we should just kill them all.
Why don't you just bomb all of them?
Just bomb them all. Just bomb all those Arabs. That was the most revolting thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, really? This is your little fashy waifu. She wants to kill a bunch of fucking Arab children for no reason. Because she wants Israel to prevail. Really, she wants to kill children.
Sinead, we're coming actually soon to the last segment.
Wow,
and
that went by fast.
I will go check the call board after this. So, before then, I would like to start talking about Putin, Russia. Just
you mean Putin?
Putin? Just for a little bit.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Now, this is something that's kept coming up. And it seems that, honestly, a number of people at Renegade just completely disagree on this one. Listeners, actually, of Renegade, or people who frequent the site,
Wow.
they don't get it. They don't see the KGB man, the guy who has banned Holocaust questioning, banned anti-Semitic, raised by rabbis, banned anti-Semitic commentary from the Bible, banned Nazi symbols, banned criticism of the Red Army. No, he did all of those to actually stop the evil Western-funded Nazis. It's just a clever ploy. He's playing 6 million dimension Chessmaster 6 million, actually. Vladimir Putin is basically the AI playing Chessmaster 6 million. Yes. He is just so on point. I mean, these Jews have run out of the country.
Oh, they're so scared.
I actually saw on Twitter somebody proved to me that actually Rothschild has fled the country. He's kicked Rothschild out.
Oh, and GMOs and vaccines, right? Like, they don't even exist anymore in Russia.
The people are rising yet again under Vladimir Putin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sounds really believable.
Yes, it's absolutely incredible.
Wow, that's sad that Renegade people don't get that at this point. Yeah. Like, it's pretty freaking easy to understand. Are they legit people, or are they some kind of Hasbro? Like, it's hard to tell.
The thing is that
why are they so
honestly,
in love with this?
It's the vast majority. It should seem so simple.
Yeah.
So very simple. We get the game that's being played. Well, I thought we got it here in the U.S. where, red team versus blue team, you get it. You get it.
Coke,
but
Pepsi,
no, the vast majority, dumb freaking sheeple, fell right into it. And they fall right into it again with the East versus West. Oh, we're on the side of Eurasia. Are you a freaking idiot? Okay, you live in Oceania. And they took it from 1984.
Well, I think they knew I think they knew the mind control. They've been studying our behavior. They've been studying how we interpret the world for so long, and I think they've really tapped into, we've talked about the bell curve before in men and women, but they've really tapped into like the bottom feeder lemmings. Like, because I really think that there are a certain percentage of people that will always follow, and I think that's just nature. Yeah. That's not necessarily bad. It depends on who is in charge and who is leading. So they know exactly how to get people to follow, and I'm sure they're playing on a very, instinctual thing here with left versus right versus wrong. We know with children, they know bad and good. And it's that duality that they're playing on.
Putin, he stands up for Orthodox Christianity, even though he's got 20 million Muslims in his country.
And he's with an Asian woman. He's dating, who was it? Sumner Redstone's, Rothstein's ex-girlfriend?
Yeah, well, it's pretty fashy. Well, his daughter's married to a Jew.
It's just 90 chess,
like Trump. Yeah, well, yes, you get it. And that's why he loves Chabad. Chabad Lubavitch is just, he's got an army of Jewish billionaires at his side. That means that he's in charge, and he's using them, just like Trump is using all the Jews that surround him.
That's right. You got it. You're fashy. I'm glad that you understand it, Kyle.
Chessmaster 6 million.
Kyle, you finally understand Eurasianism. We need to call Bob in D.C. right now and let him know that Kyle finally gets it.
Yeah, that's why he named his show The Fourth Position Show. Because it goes after the fourth political theory.
Weird, Bob. Bob, do you have an Asian way?
Well, Dennis Fetcho does. And
he
was having Christopher John Gurkis on to, and I heard how he dominated him about the whole Russia thing. Where, Russia is really our greatest ally. They're really doing the right thing. They're fighting ISIS. They're totally sticking it to ISIS.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I'm just getting so triggered about the Russia thing because they've really put it in our heads for so long that Russia's Russia. So if you say anything bad about Russia,
it's a nothing burger.
Stop it. If you say anything bad about Russia, you're criticizing the little old babushka that's tending her garden, with her little. No, I'm talking about the gangsters that are in charge of that place. I'm not talking about the little grandma.
The people who committed the Holodomor, the people who killed 66 million of their own, the
are
Bolshevik
pouring out children
who raped and tortured German women, children, grandparents
that are continuing to sell children
to Israel, actually,
and to people here.
Is that why?
There's so many Russian children.
Is that why Putin got Israel's Man of the Year 2015? Was it sending all of those child brides, the
Fresh
virgins,
organs.
the nice virgins, the fashy Daily Stormer virgins over to the guys in Israel? Yeah.
That's probably why, honestly. That's probably why.
Well, yeah. I just think it's really very interesting, especially with the developing ties between Saudi Arabia, where Dennis does a lot of business. I think it's some kind of maybe defense system. I don't know. He does a lot of business there. Yeah, Saudi Arabia and Russia are making some big moves together recently. It's kind of interesting. Coincidental, I'm sure. All right, we'll talk a little bit more with some callers. Last half hour. Stay tuned, everyone.
The stage is yours, but the world has watched you rise and fall 1,000 times before. Polka never dies. Hey! So what? Your face is gone. Oh, the dance will carry on, and you'll rot down in your grave with the souls you couldn't save.
Here is Jewish author Douglas Rushkoff on why Jews are dangerous.
The thing that makes Judaism dangerous to everybody, to every race, to every nation, to every idea, is that we smash things that aren't true. We don't believe in the boundaries of nation state. We don't believe in the ideas of these individual gods that protect individual groups of people. These are all artificial constructions, and Judaism really teaches us how to see that. In a sense, our detractors have us right, in that we are a corrosive force. We're breaking down the false gods of all nations and all people because they're not real. And that's very upsetting to people.
Beyond the boundaries of the known world, where are the mountains and where are the fjords? Hundreds of miles off the course we are lost. Clear skies return as we witness the shore. We sail the sea, we fight the storm.
All right, back for the last half hour. We will take calls here. I was mentioning before the break the ties between Saudi Arabia and Russia that are emerging. Yeah, there's one from Al Arabiya, and it says Saudi Arabia relations in the emerging new world order. It talks about the emerging ties with Russia, and I think they've been working on this for a while. But, oh wait, don't they have conflicting interests in Syria? People don't understand what's going on in Syria. Putin and actually Saudi Arabia agree that there's got to be a regime change there. People don't understand that. Oh, but he's just such a great guy.
Yeah.
He's an ally of Assad. Yeah, no, not at all. He just wants a big piece of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big chessboard, and you guys are playing checkers, it seems.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are not even playing checkers. I don't know what. You're not even in the game. You're just kind of, I don't know.
Connect 4. Playing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
CNBC, long-term U.S. ally Saudi Arabia fast becoming firm friends with Russia. And that was from last month. I'm not saying you should take CNBC as a gospel truth here, but do take a look at what's going on between Saudi Arabia and Russia and why Dennis Fetcher, who does business in Saudi Arabia, might just really seem to like Russia so much. Everybody loves Putin.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the call board here. All right, we've got Eddie from Wardo Rants. Eddie, welcome. Turn it up here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, well, so I first off, I got to tell you that Nick says hi. I called him to congratulate him for doing his first video log. He's hooking up with Brandon O'Connell, and I actually only got about 20 minutes of their show, and I thought, I got to call this guy before it gets too late. Well, he said to say hi to you guys, and also I haven't met Sinead yet, so hi, young lady.
Hello, Eddie.
Hey, how are you?
It's good to talk to you.
I was posting crap earlier today, funny enough, and there's a group of 43 senators, 29 Republicans, and 14 Democrats who want to implement a law and make it a felony for Americans to support the international boycott of Israel. Kind of, the what do they call that? BDS or whatever.
Yeah, Eddie. I wanted to point out that it looks like that actually is not necessarily the case. Although the AIPAC and Glenn Greenwald and the ACLU are putting that forward. It's basically just extending the 1977 Act, and individuals would be able to protest against Israel, would be able to boycott them, not buy Israeli products. It really has to do with businesses, and this is just adding in that it can't be a UN-sponsored boycott, even though the UN is not sponsoring them. So I think it's a psychological warfare operation that's going on, and it's very the people in the Senate, in Congress in general, and it's got a lot of supporters, including the president himself, I'm sure. They are under the impression that this is really going to crack down on BDS, and it very well could be the case that is how it would be used, but it's not exactly the way it's being portrayed from what I can understand.
Yeah, I was just reading over it while I was. Go ahead.
One more thing, also, Nick pointing out that, it's not Sumner Redstone's girlfriend that Putin is dating. It's Rupert Murdoch's ex.
Thank you, Nick.
Pretty ridiculous there.
So the other thing that I was going to talk about real quick is this whole thing about Trump and the Trump Tower and the Trump Organization. You know how he was whining and crying about he's getting hacked by the FBI or tapping his stuff. They weren't tapping him. They were tapping the Chabad mafia groups that's operating 3 floors below him. That's who they were going after. Who in particular there?
Felix Sater is no longer there operating with Bayrock. Paul Manafort was kicked out of the campaign because of the scandalous ties to Russia. So who were they? Maybe that was who they were tapping. Actually, it was Manafort and his crew. But can you name some names here? Is it? It's not a nothing burger. That's the thing
right now, bro. But I do know that they were actually tapping. Actually, they had one of the servers there in Trump Tower. That was the one I talked about. They were communicating with Vanesh Economon Bank and the other tower. So he really kind of outdid Hillary on that shit. He had another server in Pennsylvania, and that's the one that was communicating with Alpha Bank. So they were communicating with 2 different banks. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
But the funny part that I wanted to talk about is actually if you go into the Trump organization, and you would think that okay, he's this white guy, right? And well, so we got all these Jews, everybody that works in the Trump organization is wearing a yarmulke. I thought
not all of the employees.
Pro-white yarmulkes.
Which one isn't? But
there are a few. Steve Bannon, he's a good guy.
Funny that he's supposed to be the Shabbat's goy, but he's got all these Jews working for him. It's kind of funny.
Well, he's just a boss Jew. People have done some investigation into his lineage. He's not a Germanic Aryan. He might be Germanic, meaning Ashkenazi, but he's not all Aryan.
Well, we know that, but that's just the kind of the picture that they try to play. And I mean, when you look at the Trump organization, it's kind of the same thing as the the Trump administration, which ones really aren't Jews. They're probably easier to count the ones that aren't than are.
Yeah, there was a good picture of that war room when they were launching the missiles against Syria, and pretty much all of the people in there are Jewish, bar a few.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always thought that snake speech he gave. Remember the snake speech that everybody was just so excited about because
It's about Muslims and stuff.
yeah, about how immigrants they'll bite you. You try to
They
take
get
them in,
ya.
you tender. Yeah, no, no. If you actually think about it, what he's talking about is well, either he could be the snake or the snake is itself is Jewry. Think of how many times that
The
Jewry
serpent.
has been represented as the snake. The world serpent, actually, international Jewry. Look at how the Third Reich portrayed them.
Yeah.
That's the real snake that we've let in. Oh, poor Jews. Oh, the Holocaust. Oh, you're so... You
Take me
we're,
in.
we're so
Cold.
poor. We're poor and we're depressed. And oh, we've been through so much. Please take me in. We will never hurt you. We're just such
We're
good,
good
God-loving people.
people.
We're God-loving, God-fearing people. Just like you. You have Judeo-Christian values.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
That-
they weasel their little way in.
They're the
Oxymoron in
snake.
itself too.
Yeah, and they've been they have taken over, if not completely started, the pro-white movement,
Yeah.
the anti-Israel movement. They're present all over. Wherever there is resistance, we have Jews everywhere, and it's very disconcerting. It's very hard to trust people when you know that they're Jewish agents all over the place. But people shouldn't think we're paranoid. This is just cold hard.
You
cold
should
hard
just
facts.
probably assume that. Like, it's not a paranoid way of living. Just always be aware that, things might not always be as they seem, and just kind of keep a filter there. Not trying to say that you have to be dishonest with yourself or other people, but just don't be so trusting all the time. We've had to learn it the hard way.
Well, Warder, how many millions and actually billions of dollars spent around the world in an effort to thwart people like us from actually forming some kind of effective resistance? It's incredible. And it doesn't just take on the form of Hasbro or articles that are run against us or psi warfare programs. They are actually running big data prediction algorithms.
Yeah.
They're simulating all sorts of different potential outcomes. This really is Chess Master 6 million that we're up
With the
against.
stuff like
they're afraid.
Cambridge Analytica and whatnot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Cambridge Analytica and all of the stuff that actually got Trump to the White House and got everybody cheering for it, and all the talking points they gave, it was engineered through big data. They're running a pretty complex game right now.
Yeah.
All of these events that we're seeing, the timing of them, the different alternative figures.
Yeah.
It's all carefully calculated. And it's been...
You ever think about how many of these shootings, even here in this country, that actually Israel was directly involved with? Have you ever thought about that?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of the ones recently, the big ones, the ones that get a lot of airplay, they're not real. I don't
They're
think they're real.
completely, oh yeah, they're masters of deception. I mean, think about Hollywood. They're able to create these alternate realities that people suspend their disbelief and they go into and they feel and they cry and they really believe that they're there. So what they're able to do with media, it's not even illegal for them to fake these things.
No.
It's completely legal. And they, they're good at it. They're very good at what they do, and they have amputees that come in and look like they actually lost a limb, and
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah.
this is a production. This is all psychological manipulation.
Yeah, hiring amputee actors
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, here at the Roseburg shooting, UCC, Breitbart News with this Lee Stranahan, he was here, and I know the guy that he interviewed. He actually 3 of the mainstream media guys went to the same guy, and one of these mainstream medias, which I'd call them Breitbart News. Yeah, they were
Conceived in
interviewing the
Israel.
same guy.
Conceived in
Pretty
Israel.
interesting.
The platform for the alt-right, Steve Bannon, came out and said that Breitbart is the outlet for the alt-right, giving them a voice. Conceived in Israel.
That's really
That's
pro-white.
funny.
Yeah, it's really disconcerting though going up against this, because I'll tell you what, even though it's obvious to people like us, what we're up against, a lot of the people out there who are involved in this movement, if they are legitimate, it took them a long time to catch on, and they're only some of them barely catching on now. They're really actually lemmings. They can't get it.
They fight against us a lot of the time when we're trying to just tell them, look, like, I know it doesn't sound nice, but a lot of these people aren't on our side, and they get mad at us.
How dare you attack Pepe?
Yeah, instead of getting mad at the controlled, operation that's going on.
Right.
It sucks. It sucks to have to be the bearer of bad news, but a lot of this stuff is just not authentic at all. It's completely Jewish, and it's amazing to me that people can even buy this alt-right thing anymore. I mean, it's so friggin' obvious at this point.
It's also a little bit disconcerting that we're the only people out there that are in this particular type of media who will even question, let's say, these stage shootings, who will really speak the truth about Jewish issues.
Call out the elephant in the room. Why are there a bunch of gay dudes and
And actually,
Jack
you know
Donovan's.
something? A lot of them are still hammering on the bandwagon for Trump.
Yes.
It's bad, yeah.
Oh, well, he did this, but that's okay. Yeah, look at what else he did. He did this. Is really good that he did.
It's like battered wife syndrome.
I'm not kidding you. Most of the supposed alternative media, guys that I would listen to once in a while, I can't even listen to them anymore.
That's right.
Because they will not condone or condemn Trump for being who he really is. They still want to, that story of, but he said this. Well, yeah, that's what they do. They say all kinds of shit, stupid.
He's a politician. They say whatever they have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay,
I thought it was obvious to people now that whoever is in the position of president, especially if they come from a reality TV star background or real estate mogul,
a multi-billionaire, and he's going to take a little peanut job for a shithole. That show sucked, dude. I didn't like it. But he's a multi-millionaire, right, Mr. Big Guy, and he's going to take a job for a reality show? Come on, give me a break.
Well, who did he get in debt to? He got in debt to...
He's someone's butt.
Carl Icahn, for one.
Yeah. And you also had him getting in debt to Rothschild.
Stand his ass. And Carl Icahn didn't like his brand and said, take your brand and shove it up your ass when he kicked him out of the Resorts International because he ran it into the ground. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you've also got Gary Cohn, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Roy Cohn.
Yeah, well, they're...
Cohen.
Yeah,
Stress the Cohen.
There are just so many different ties. We talked about it all throughout the campaign. We've shown it since. He's playing a part. He is basically consolidating, white America and actually white resistance around the world with right-wing Jewry.
Yeah.
It's
amazing
with Zionism. He's getting that all corralled together very effectively along with all the agents. And now we have the left being the people who will speak out against Jewish power, but only in a very limited way, saying it's an apartheid state, conflating it with South Africa and what's going on there. And another thing that Trump won't even touch, what's happening. Has he said anything about the land bill? We know he's not saying anything about all of the censorship that's gone on. He hasn't stuck up for any of his...
monuments going down, none of that.
The Confederate monuments, he doesn't care. Amazon banning Holocaust books, he's all for that.
Yeah.
Has he stood up and said anything about what's going on in South Africa?
No.
With Zuma now saying that, we're going to take the land of the white people and not give them anything. We're going to steal it from them.
Genocide.
And we'll probably kill them in the process. No, Trump wouldn't say anything about that because he actually has a history of, supporting Nelson Mandela, calling him a good friend.
Taking pictures with him and Melania and Nelson.
Yeah, and, actually all radical black leaders like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, he's always been tight with them because he's a Jew. And that's what Jews do in the city. They team up and they stick it to the white man. Mm-hmm. But the stupid goddamn gullible goyim out there think that this guy is their guy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking pathetic.
Well, and not only that, it wasn't what magazine that was it that retracted their statement on Melania being a call girl?
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they didn't want to get sued.
Yeah, one of them
Really?
they got pressured and probably got a little bit of shut the fuck up money thrown
Oh,
at them.
wow.
Yeah.
Here's the story about all that.
I mean, that just makes
I looked at
complete
that pretty
sense to
hard.
me. I know these dudes in these dudes in New York City love Eastern European women. That's they treat them as if they're a commodity.
Property.
They're imported, just as if you have your
imported.
imported.
Melania and Paulo, because I heard you
Yeah.
say something about that real quick. It was Melania's people in her own country of Slovenia who made the accusation. Nobody went after any of those people, and there were some magazines involved in that.
Well, I remember, didn't her father kind of model them as they were very young children to weird guys, like weird businessmen? Weren't there pictures of this?
Yeah, it was small rooms of.
That's
of
not
these
normal.
adults who are,
That is not normal at all. Do we
children
have
model.
pictures of us as children modeling around for strange businessmen? No. I hope none of you out there do, and if you do, that's not normal.
She comes from a communist family. And
That's right. Her father was a member of the Slovenian Communist Party.
it's a big nothing burger, okay? Just drop it. It's a nothing burger.
Nothing burger.
Van Jones admitted it. It was leaked out. Okay, Van Jones from CNN said so. CNN's been discredited. Trump clotheslined them. It's not a big WWE
So
act.
stupid. Clotheslined him.
Nothing burger, Wardo. Don't even
Yeah.
look into the Russian connections.
Yeah. Okay, I better get my own shut the fuck up then, right?
No, it's such a clever psychological operation. It seems
It's working for sure,
Self-censorship.
absolutely.
yeah, with all their leaks that they put out, all
Well,
so
people
strategic.
are like just. I mean, even my own parents are like roped into this. It's like a soap opera. Did you hear about this?
it's
Did you
reality
hear
TV.
about that? It's reality TV that has been. It's politics. It's reality TV. Everything is colliding into one because it's all a fake narrative. We're living in a fake bullshit Jewish narrative, and it sucks. And we're
How's
all
that
starting
feel?
to realize that.
Huh? How's that feel?
Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible.
It's all manufactured, and
Yeah.
that's what's so frustrating. We know that Jews control the media, right? People on the alt-right will admit that as well. Okay,
To a certain extent.
a lot of them will admit that Jews are habitual liars, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they will.
Yeah,
In
okay,
jest,
But they gotta
usually, though.
but they will not admit that Jews in the media are lying about the narrative that they're putting about the story that they're putting in
No,
front.
that's too deep,
They
bruh.
might say that they're putting some kind of spin on it, but they
The latest one I got
You're
was
a
from some old
conspiracy
World War
theorist.
II, Korean War vet. I live where there's a lot of vets retired here, and he says, "You mean?" I was telling him the stuff I talk about, and he goes, "You mean you're going to tell me this shit that I've been lied to for 82 years?" And I go, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Oh, I've heard enough. I'm out of here."
It goes
Yeah.
back. It goes back even further than
Oh,
82
yeah.
years.
Thousands
Yeah,
of
but that's
years.
all the longer that guy's been alive. That's the only reason why I said that.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
But it really does. How did we get into the Spanish-American War? They've even admitted this. We get into wars through false flags. They make up stories.
Yeah. Psychological manipulation is not a new thing. This has been going on for thousands of years. And I wish that... I know there's been so much study into how the psyche works, but it's been done by people with bad intentions. So I wish that people would catch on to these manipulators of our emotions, because that's what they do every single day. Even if you don't think that you're manipulated by your emotions, you are.
They've been able to take the righteous anger of Europeans, of
The
white
fire,
Americans.
the real fire.
We're pissed off. They've been able to take that and redirect it
Funnel it.
at their enemies or at sources that are just symptoms, really.
Look at what the American troops are doing all over the world. Like, when they should be here protecting this country and these children, they're over there, guarding poppy fields. Is that really what we need them to be doing right now? No, we need them here protecting the children, the white children.
Our men, our warriors, are so far removed from their duty that they are enabling the opioid epidemic. They're the ones who are ensuring that our people here in the West, that our borders are porous. Yeah. They're guarding the borders of Afghanistan and all these other countries. Now Yemen too. They're messing up all these countries. Libya, Somalia. I mean, they're extending things even further. Our
Have you ever
borders,
seen the streets of Afghanistan?
yeah. I mean,
There's people ODing all over the
Wow.
place, laying in the middle of the road. They're ODing and dead. Some of them dead.
I believe it.
the
Yep.
the
I
production
believe
the
it.
production
It's
just
terrible.
went through
Yeah.
the roof.
Terrible.
It went through the roof.
That's going to look
Yeah.
like here real soon in a couple
It
years.
already does.
Already does.
It already
All of a
happens
sudden,
one
every
death,
day.
something real quick.
Every day. So many people just dying. And all this heroin is laced with fentanyl now.
Yeah, well, that's only half of it. But at
Yeah.
any rate, I live in my studio's in a shitty end of town. I'm only in a 22,000 populated town, but the heroin epidemic's off the hook here.
Yeah.
And I especially see it right here. Matter of fact, I had my air conditioning was off for 5 days, so it was like 90 degrees at midnight, and I don't keep my doors open because this is a bad end of town. And my air conditioner guy, he came down off the roof and he showed me a picture that he took of a full hypodermic kit that somebody had stashed up on my roof. We see rigs on the sidewalks in front of our
Yeah.
storefronts and all
Yeah.
this crap. It's insane.
It's just common. It's just like a common thing to see these days. You go to the beach for a nice day with your family, like, oh, yay. Oh, there's a dirty needle on the ground.
Rubbers and rigs.
Oh, don't touch that. You know, like there's a serious problem that we can't ignore anymore. We have people just dropping dead randomly, you know, several times a day, just out and about in public places. They were like, we've got a problem. We should probably, you know, pay attention to this problem. It's really bad. I mean, I grew up with girls, looking back to my childhood, these little girls that all I can picture is just us being children together. And I find out years later that they're shooting up heroin. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? And they are. They've completely lost their whole entire self.
It's mainly white people.
Yeah,
And yet we
yeah.
won't look at
Hillbilly heroin.
why they're so depressed.
Yeah.
Well, they have affirmative action working against them. They can't get jobs the same way that they might have been able to before. They're being attacked.
Yeah,
in
they're
every
told
level
they're
in the media.
Shamed into submission.
Oh, yeah.
And they're prescribed these pills to start with, and once their prescription runs out and they're addicted to them,
Where
after
are they
these
gonna
pills
get
got
it?
pushed on them, yeah, they've got to get it somehow.
It's the perfect design for someone that wants to destroy a people. You get them hooked on these drugs and then say, oh, now we're cutting you off. Now good luck. And they're going to go and find that their body actually needs it.
And
I mean,
they're
they
making
can't withdraw.
they're making money
Well,
either way.
with the opiate industry, the pharmaceutical industry gets a lot of that crap that's coming out of Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what they're doing, let me tell you firsthand, I know this because there's kids, I've worked with these, try to talk to them anyway. These active users, well, they try to get clean and they give them an opiate. It's just a pharmaceutical brand of heroin. And they don't do the, what the hell was that one they used to do?
Methadone?
Yeah, they don't do methadone anymore. This is a more hardcore heroin based, and so and some of them don't have the blockers, so the guys are getting high still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
It's just who's the pusher.
And they tried to outlaw
The
kratom.
government.
They
Yep.
tried to outlaw kratom last year. They didn't go
Which was
through
actually helping people get off of these opiates
with it.
once and for all.
You know, it,
Plant.
Then you got to remember the prison industrial complex.
Yes.
It's about making money.
Mm-hmm.
It's about making shekels.
Absolutely.
Well, but this is not the first time. Look at the crack cocaine epidemic that was pushed
Yeah.
into
Oh,
the
yeah.
inner cities.
Yeah.
Let's
and all that. Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
go back. It wasn't just done to the white people. It wasn't just done to the blacks. Let's go back and look at the Chinese, the Opium Wars.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Yiddish Empire waged war so that the Jew Sassoon family could push opium all throughout China.
They've done it.
That's right.
They've done it over and over and over again. But they use the same tactics, so I hope we're finally getting wise to them because we can look back and see that the same thing has happened over and over and over again. They're doing it again. I mean, if we just see that our military are guarding the poppy fields, if people could just see that picture and really get it, I don't know. Maybe they'd finally start to understand.
I wonder why we have an opioid epidemic.
Yeah.
I wonder where all this is coming
You
from.
see, like, U.S., military guarding these things. Like, why aren't they here? Our borders are, we don't have any borders. Our country is completely invaded. And where are our troops? Off Guarding poppies, which are destroying our youth. I've lost so many friends to opiates, to heroin, to
Well, the
fake heroin.
the terrorist Taliban had outlawed
And Bakabasi, the
they had
little
Bakabasi,
boys.
but the U.S. had to go in there and bring back the dancing boys, which are
Dancing boys.
Yeah.
Isn't that so great? Bakabasi. And that's what they want to have here in America. They love... this country relishes in raping little boys. That's pretty much what this country was founded on a lot of the times, unfortunately.
well, a lot of the religious institutions are all about that as well.
Yeah.
The big business institutions.
Illumination.
Oh, but that's pretty fashy. That goes back.
Hey, nice to meet you, Sinead.
Bye, Eddie.
Hey, take
Okay,
care, Eddie.
Have a great night.
Thanks.
You too.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Well, thank you, Sinead, for joining me here.
Don't
Staying
buy
up
so
late.
fast.
Yes, it certainly did. I hope it's been useful for you all to hear this. It's been a little bit cathartic here. Stay tuned. My show's up tomorrow night. Let's take care of these assholes, huh?